Hi, I'm Dave Karger. Thanks for joining me on TCM for this week's musical matinee feature. Today's installment is a documentary that's widely regarded as one of the best and most significant musical documentaries ever made. From director D.A. Pennebaker in 1967, it's Don't Look Back. The film chronicles Bob Dylan's final tour as an all-acoustic folk singer before he made the controversial switch to electric rock and roll. It was shot during the spring of 1965, following Dylan's tour in England, which began in Sheffield and ended at London's Royal Albert Hall. The idea for a documentary about Bob Dylan came from his manager, Albert Grossman, who brought D.A. Pennebaker in to direct. Pennebaker wasn't too familiar with Dylan's music at the time, but he had just made a short documentary about another musician, jazz singer Dave Lambert. He brought his own handheld cameras and followed Dylan on the tour, ultimately shooting more than 20 hours of footage, which he edited down to a final cut of 96 minutes. As you'll see, this is a fascinating insider's look at Dylan's world in 1965, capturing nearly every facet of his experience on the tour, good and bad, on stage and off. The film shows Dylan performing, improvising in hotel rooms, giving interviews with the press, negotiating contracts, and mingling with his fans and fellow artists, including notably his romantic partner, Joan Baez. The film didn't premiere until 2 years after it was completed because distributors didn't know how to handle this unprecedented production. By the time it finally did reach audiences, Bob Dylan had long since shed his acoustic image and was an international rock star. But the movie was still a major hit, and it broke new ground with its direct, unpolished style and its unusually intimate look at one of the world's greatest living artists. From 1967, here is Don't Look Back. By today's standards, the style of Don't Look Back, with its rough black and white images, shaky cameras, and long, unedited shots, may not seem jarring or unfamiliar, but in 1967, it was a shock to movie audiences. The film was directed by D.A. Pennebaker, a documentary filmmaker who pioneered the style of direct cinema, which was a method of capturing real events on film in the moment without a script or plan. It was a style that soon influenced his contemporaries like Albert Maysles and Richard Leacock, who worked with Pennebaker on his next film, the 1968 concert documentary Monterey Pop. Maysles would go on to use the direct cinema style in some of the most memorable documentaries of all time, including Grey Gardens and the Rolling Stones film Gimme Shelter. D.A. Pennebaker continued to document musicians and other performers throughout his career and often took an interest in politics as well. He earned an Oscar nomination for the 1993 documentary The War Room about Bill Clinton's presidential campaign. And in 2013, the Academy recognized his entire body of work with an honorary Oscar. Up next is something completely different, a provocative film noir from 1955 starring Cornel Wilde and Richard Conte.
Next on TCM, The Big Combo, then Reunion in France, and later, 2001 A Space Odyssey. TCM is Howl on Wheels today.